Going to go through a few different categories here today on Major League Baseball or in Major League Baseball action. We're going to start with your line report. First thing here is the fact that there's been a scratch as far as starting pitching is concerned. Willie Peralta scratched for the Milwaukee Brewers. Substitute in with Matt Garza for Milwaukee. He'll face John Lamb, the lefty of the Reds. Start time 1:10 Eastern, 10:10 Pacific time. Reds have opened as a 115 favorite. That game not yet readily available universally. A couple spots have it right now with the Reds favorite anywhere between 113 and 115. No total yet posted. Arizona against the Cubs. Robbie Ray for the Diamondbacks. Jake Arrieta for the Cubs. Of course, Jake Arrieta, fresh off his no-hitter, opened as a $2.24 favorite. Currently sits in between 220 and 230. Pittsburgh against St. Louis. Charlie Morton versus Jaime Garcia. This game goes at 4:05 Eastern Time, 1:05 Pacific. The Cardinals opened a $1.51 favorite. They now sit anywhere between 141 and 152. The total here, 7.5 was the opener. It's now been bet up to 7.5 over minus 15. That number pretty much holds universally, 7.5 over minus 15. For the Mets today, game 907, 908, Bartolo Colon against Brad Hand, the lefty for the Miami Marlins. Colon opened a $1.48 favorite. 8 under minus 15 is the total, or was the opening total. Game currently has seen a little bit of action, but not much. The Mets vary from minus 140 to minus 150. The game total sits almost in the same place everywhere as it did when it opened, 8 under minus 15. Shelby Miller, he of the 19 consecutive starts with no wins to show for it, goes for the Braves today against Gio Gonzalez, southpaw for the Washington Nationals. This game opened with the Nationals a $1.94 favorite, 7.5 over minus 15 your total on that game. Current numbers shows action on the Nationals. Nats now anywhere between $2 and $2.10 favorites. Take back price for the Braves ranges anywhere from a plus 180 to a plus 190. Once again, Washington, your prohibitive favorite there. Jake Peavy against Bettis for the Colorado Rockies here. Game 9, 11, 9, 12. Pair of righties. Start time 8:10 Eastern, 6:10 Mountain Time. The Giants trying to solve this losing streak that they're on. And look to Peavy today. He opened a $1.16 favorite, but boy, the money immediately poured in on the Colorado Rockies, and we've had a switch in favorites in this contest. Rockies now currently minus 115, anywhere between 113 and 116. Let's put it that way. Take back price minimal $1.04 to $1.06. Once again, reversal of favorites in game 9, 11, 9, 12. San Francisco, Colorado. Frisco opened a $1.16 favorite. Colorado now your 16-cent favorite in a lot of places. Rounding out the National League card, game 9-13, 9-14, 8:40 start out on the East Coast, 5:40 on the West Coast. You can figure for some twilight, maybe some shadows in this particular game. Alex Wood starts for the Dodgers. Tyson Ross for the Padres. Game open, Padres minus 110, 6.5 over minus 15. That favorite has also switched. No longer are the Padres the choice in this contest, but the Dodgers are now the favorite. Anywhere from minus $1.15, or excuse me, anywhere from minus $1.11 to $1.22. So certainly, depending upon what shop you're at, whether you're getting a dime line or a 20-cent line, that usually is the reason for the variance in favorite numbers and underdog takebacks. Right now, though, the Dodgers anywhere from $1.11 to $1 to minus $1.22 favorite. The total here has seen some upward movement, about a nickel towards the over here. It's gone from an opener of 6.5 over 15 up to 6.5 over minus 20. American League, Tampa Bay against the New York Yankees at Yankee Stadium. Matt Moore, the lefty, against Nate Eovaldi for the Bronx Bombers. 1:05 Eastern start, 10:05 on the Pacific Coast. Yanks open $1.68. The take back on that was plus 143 with the Rays. Opening total 8.5. Right now we see a lot of Yankee action. They range anywhere from $1.75 to $1.80. With the Rays, you can bring back anywhere from $1.51 to about $1.65. Once again, the variance due to the difference in VIGs among shops offshore and in Las Vegas. The opening number, which comes from Chris, it has a big VIG. And when numbers get up this high, you're talking about 25-cent VIG at that particular shop. Total here 8.5. Opener now 8.5 minus 20 or 25, and we do see one offshore spot where the game has now been pushed down to a total of 8 over minus 13. So under action so far in that game between Tampa and the Yankees. 9-17, 9-18 Baltimore right against Price in this one. For the Jays, they opened up a very prohibitive $2.85 favorite. Sit right in that range right now. Anywhere from 280 to 287 is what you'll be asked to lay with the Toronto Blue Jays. Take back here for the Orioles anywhere from $2.35 to $2.60. If you like the Orioles, get the best price available. That would be $2.60. 8.5 was your opener. It is now looking like there's going to be somewhat of a push toward the under. Game getting hit a little bit as we speak. I see some 8.5 under minus 15s out there right now, so it looks like it's trending toward the under. 9-19, 9-20 Cleveland, Danny Salazar, Detroit, Alfredo Simon. This game opened with Salazar, the $1.57 favorite. Total 8 over 20. Salazar's going up a couple of cents here. You can find him anywhere from $1.55 to $1.60 favorite. Take back with Simon and the Tigers here ranges from 135 to 149. Total in the contest virtually staying the same at 8 minus 20. There's a couple of straggling totals out there where you might pay less of a VIG, 15 cents, 13 cents, but those are few and far between. For the most part, the total on this game sits at 8 minus 120. Minnesota versus the Houston Astros game, 9-21, 9-22. Irvin Santana, Lance McCullers for the Houston Astros. Astros opened up minus $1.70 here, 8 over minus 20. They have gone up in a hurry. The Astros now up from $1.70 to as high as $2. We're looking at a range of about $1.85 to minus $2 here on the Astros. They took an awful lot of money yesterday. If you remember, Colin McHugh was about a 40-cent move in that game toward the Astros and McHugh. Same thing going on here, not quite to the extent of yesterday, but early money pouring in on the Houston Astros here. They've gone up in excess of about 25, 30 cents right now. Total on the game, 8 minus 120 to the over. Seems to be sitting right there currently, so 8 over minus 120 your total. The White Sox take on Kansas City today. Pair of southpaws. Jose Quintana for the White Sox, Danny Duffy for the Kansas City Royals. Game open KC minus $1.59, total of 8 flat. Game sits now at anywhere between KC minus 139 to about 146. So there's been movement toward the Chicago White Sox here and Quintana. Not unusual. Danny Duffy usually does get faded by early money, so it's not something that's unusual here to see the money go against Kansas City with Duffy on the hill. Total, like I say, started at 8. It's now been bet up. This total was bet up yesterday, and that was the correct way to go, as the White Sox walked away with a 12-1 victory, easily going over the total. This one started at 8. It currently sits at about 8 minus 120. If you like the 120, get in quick because we see it pushing to 125 at a couple of venues as we speak. 925, 926 Seattle versus the Oakland A's AL West matchup. Felix Hernandez and Jesse Chavez in this one. Pair of righties opposing each other here. Felix Hernandez opened up $1.37 favorite with the takeback being plus 117. Total of 7 flat. Action on the A's as Hernandez has now been bet down to about a low spot of minus 119 and a high of 129. So you can see about a 10-cent move toward the A's here. Felix Hernandez has not been the same recently. Obviously, bettors looking to continue that trend. The money has shown up for the A's here early. Like I say, here Hernandez has gone down from $1.37 on the opening number, down to anywhere between 122 and 129 right now. Total on the game has been bet up as well, and been bet up heavily, as the VIG has gone from 7 flat all the way to 7 over minus 125. So don't be surprised to see this game pushed to 7.5. If you like the over, the time to get in is now. That will allow you, the 7 will allow you a push in a 4-3, 5-2, 6-1, any type of game like that, where the game total 7.5 would cost you. But if you'd rather pay a cheaper VIG, let it run to 7.5. If you feel like the game's going to reach 8 anyway, let it run to 7.5 and play it then. 927, 928, Texas versus the LA Rangers. Derek Holland for the Texas Rangers. Jared Weaver for the Angels. Weaver opened $1.21 favorite. 7.5 over minus 115 was your opening total. Money's poured in on Texas and Holland. Jared Weaver's been a steady fade by bettors, as I mentioned earlier with Danny Duffy. Same type of scenario here when Jared Weaver is taking the hill. Money's come the other way. No difference here as Derek Holland right now taking action. The Angels, like I say, open minus 121. The Rangers are now your anywhere from $1.04 to $1.10 favorite at this point, or $1.08 favorite at this point in time. Probably the right way to play. I have to admit that Derek Holland has looked pretty good in his return to the hill for the Rangers, and Jared Weaver, certainly not the same pitcher at this point in time, topping out at about 83 miles per hour. Ranger left-handed bats also a consideration in that game. So once again, you've seen a pretty sizable line move here. Angels opened 121. Rangers now anywhere from $1.04 to, I see a bump right now as we speak, up to minus 110. So that's about a 30-cent move toward the Texas Rangers. For Philadelphia today, the rookie Asher against Boston's Wade Miley, the left-hander for the Red Sox here. Game open Boston minus 209. Hasn't moved much. It's moved about 3-4 cents towards the Phils here. You see Boston anywhere between 203 and 210 favorites in this game. Or the price on the total, 9.5 under 20, has come down a little bit. 9.5 under, or it's gone up a little bit. 9.5 under 25 is what we're looking at now. Don't know exactly which way that game will move, but right now about a nickel movement toward the under in that matchup between Asher and Miley. Doubleheader game in Milwaukee, or with Milwaukee at Cincinnati. Willie Peralta will pitch the second game. We talked about him being switched from the first game. It's because he's going in the second game here against Sampson. Cincinnati has opened about $1.15 favorite. This price, like the game one price, not available everywhere as of yet because of the pitching switch by Milwaukee, swapping out Peralta and Garza. In this contest, a 6:10 Eastern Time start. Sampson opened $1.15. Slight action toward the Milwaukee Brewers in this one. It's gone down to $1.07 at one venue. You're looking at a range of anywhere from $1.07 to $1.15. No total on this contest as of yet. So once again, doubleheader game number 2. You get the reversal of pitchers here. Willie Peralta not starting game 1 for the Brewers, but he is starting game 2. So make notation of that. Matt Garza will be in game 901, 902. Willie Peralta, your Milwaukee starter, in game 931, 932. That's your Major League Baseball line update for this morning's Saturday, September the 5th.